All right, so welcome to how to create more content with less effort and build your visibility by leveraging technology, primarily focusing on Flintt. I'm going to share my screen here and go through a bit of interesting information. So essentially, we all know that content is king. We also all know that it takes a really long time to create content, and we need to work out how it's going to have value for us, for our business, and how do we balance, between doing what we do. So whether you are, a business coach, or you're running a organization, or you are selling a product or a service, how do you balance the actual output of the work that you get paid for versus the sales and the marketing and the time that both of those take? So today we're really going to talk about how we can increase visibility and build your reputation by making sure that we can create more content with less effort. Now, statistically, it can take up to 6 hours to create just one piece of content. And the thing is if all you're doing with this content, so let's just say you've written a blog or an article, right? If all you're doing with that blog or article is putting it onto your website as a blog and potentially putting it onto LinkedIn as an article, you're actually throwing your content in the bin because you spent all that time creating it. And once it's up on your website, you can't put it on somebody else's website because now it's duplicate content and Google doesn't like it. So what can we do? Today, we're going to discuss that. We're going to talk about why most people waste the opportunity to repurpose their content. We're going to talk about how you can streamline your content creation for maximum output with minimum effort. Then we're going to talk about Flintt and how it can empower you to create more content with less effort. And then you're all going to have a go at using the platform. Again, any questions throughout, let me know. So the fact is if you are in business or if you are working in the marketing department for a business, you are sitting on a mountain of content. Yeah. So if you've ever done a keynote, written a book, have blogs, videos, any IP frameworks for your business model, so how does your business work, or created any form of lead magnet landing page, you have a mountain of content that is repurposable, which basically means is you don't have to start from scratch when it comes to communicating with your target market, so your prospects, your customers, via email and social, because you can leverage the content that you already have. However, most people just don't think about content in this way. Now, the reason why we talk about social media and email primarily is because that's where your users are. Specifically, there are 4.7 billion people on social media, and that's active social media users. And statistically, most people are active on a minimum of 3 accounts. Now, that's 59% of the population, and that population is including children and the elderly. So we know the people are there. It's no surprise we all use social media, right? And the other really interesting fact is that the top 3 most used platforms, especially for research across all demographics, are still Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And people use these platforms for different purposes. And depending on what you do is where you're going to build the communication with your users. But it's no longer okay to not be visible on these channels. Because how do people search? Right? People do really 2 things. They're going to either go straight onto Google and still type in the search for what it is that you guys do. And Google is going to pop up with the most popular pages. Now, the most popular pages will be your website, if it is well upkept and has good search engine optimization on it. And it will pop up with your social media, again, providing that you've got social media channels that are based on your business. So these are your business socials, not your personal socials, right? The other question a lot of people ask is around, well, TikTok, yes, Rakesh, TikTok is catching up for business content. That is a really good question. However, TikTok is still aimed at the demographics of 18 to sort of 25-year-olds. That's the majority of users on TikTok. So TikTok hasn't grown yet to be, the most focused on business platform. However, you are right, it is quickly catching up, and being a video-driven platform, we can look at how we can leverage videos for TikTok. But it's a really, really good question. So the other question I also get asked is, well, if my customers are, on Facebook users, or my customers are business people and they're on LinkedIn, why am I going to bother to be visible on other channels? And the thing is that it's not about where your content is living, it's about where you're continuing those conversations. So if we think about a customer life cycle, the first thing people need to do is be aware of your solution, whether it's a product or a service. They need to be aware, and brand awareness lives on the maximum amount of real estate you can access online, right? If you have your customers are business customers and they're on LinkedIn, those same people are still on Facebook and they're still on Instagram. However, the conversation about the follow-up of your business is going to happen on LinkedIn. If you are, say, a life coach, then the majority of your customer conversation will probably happen on either Facebook or Instagram, but those people are still on LinkedIn. And the more you can be visible, the better off you are at building that brand reputation, right? And so just a little bit about me and my background and why I'm sitting here in front of you, speaking to you guys today around, my belief in the fact that technology really has the power to enable the individual to make an impact. See, my background is all in marketing communications. I studied marketing comms. I've got a Bachelor of Communications, and I even teach marketing comms and public relations at RMIT University here in Melbourne. And about it's now 5 years ago. So in 2018, I opened up a business event venue. It was called the Holistic Business Hub. And the whole idea there was to teach people how to leverage social, email, and digital events, or events at the time, to build and grow their reputation. And it was there that I used to teach people how to repurpose their content. I was thinking, look, if you guys are struggling to get people to follow you, if you're struggling to sell your tickets to your events, then the best thing to do is to get content out there that's going to connect with your customers. And I used to teach people exactly what I'm going to teach you in a moment. I was teaching people how to repurpose video. So how do we start off with repurposing or creating a video and then turning that video into a blog, and then turning that blog into social media posts, and then getting those posts out onto a platform. And I used to provide people the training and also a checklist so they could tick that off. And I thought, this is going to be wonderful. And you know what people were doing? Very little. Why? Because even though it sounded easy for me, I thought, oh, can't be too hard. Look, if we can get it done within, a short amount of time, I'm sure others can. And then I realized that, others haven't had 15 years of experience working within digital marketing. And so I thought there needs to be a platform that provides this. And so we set out to create a platform. Initially, we set out to basically create 3 platforms and put them all into one. So we figured that we need something that's going to have a strategic repurposing, which basically means it's going to take your content and automatically make pictures, make words, and provide you a step-by-step strategy on how the content can go straight onto your socials, onto your email. So that was the first thing we wanted to do. The other thing we wanted to do is we wanted to integrate a social media and email automation tool so that it can actually post on your behalf. And the third thing we wanted to do is make sure that we are able to track the engagement and be able to, over time, help our users understand what's working and what's not, so that they can do more of what's working, especially for their business and also for their industry. And so that's where the ideation for Flintt was born. And so today I'm going to show you where that all culminates to. So essentially, we created a content repurposing tool. The idea of content repurposing, or sometimes called content recycling, is to reuse existing content and present it in different formats to expand its lifespan. Essentially, we're reimagining the content that we have into content that can be created. And it actually takes the ideation beforehand. So before we start to create the content, we need to think about how can this be done in a way that can be easily repurposed so that I can do more of what I enjoy and less of this content creation stuff. And so the traditional way, which is what I was talking about, is you create a video, you can turn it into a blog or an article, podcast, newsletter, create some social media posts, and then schedule it. And in order to do this, you currently need to use a minimum of 3 to 4 platforms to have this working. Flintt is here to reimagine this for us. So leveraging your content, it's possible to create your videos, your blogs, your LinkedIn posts, and get it out there so that it creates a full spectrum of information going out, showing your customers that you are versed or well-versed in what it is that you do, showing that you are consistent on sharing valuable content with your customers, with your users, with your prospects, and making you look like you are a thriving, ongoing entity within the world of social and email, which helps to build trust. So Flintt, again, was created to help you create more content with less effort and really support and supplement what it is that you guys are currently doing. So what it does is it takes long form copy, such as your article or blog, and then it automatically repurposes it into social media and email marketing content. So all you need to do is enter the copy into a content form, which you guys are going to have a go at shortly. Then what Flintt will do is it will automatically turn that into an email and have that scheduled to go out to your database. It will automatically create images based on the content that you've put in there and your brand and your social media handles. It will then schedule it across Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. It will post it on your behalf, and then it will report for best performing engagement, open rates, and any form of bounce rate so that you can continue to do what it is that you are doing with your business and really thriving whilst being valuable to your audience. So here's a very quick video on how it can work. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually play around with Flintt. But before we go there, what I would love for you guys to do is join our Flintt community group if you have not as yet. I'm going to put a link in the chat here. And within this community group, we do fortnightly how-to Flintt information. We share content around why you should and how you can repurpose content. We provide some statistics around the current landscape when it comes to social. And so it's a really good opportunity to connect with other people who are also looking to learn how to repurpose content. So please do click on that link and just ask to join our group. And then once you guys have done that, just give me a thumbs up. Yep, I've had a chance to click on the link and ask to join the group, just so that I know you guys are here and participating. Thanks, Pilar. Logging in. No worries, Rakesh. Great. All right, no worries, Jenny. Thank you. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually play around with Flintt and how Flintt works. So I've just popped the link in the chat to our home page. And I'm going to head over there, and I'd like you guys to head over there as well. So it'll lead you to this page right here. And what I'd like you to do is click on the Try It Now link right here. That's going to bring you over to our app, which is over here. Just let me know that you guys can see that. You nod. Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do is I'd like you guys to click sign up with Flintt, and then just fill out your details so that you guys can all have a go at using this platform. So I'm going to sign in with support at Flintt, create a password. Click on agreed terms and conditions, and then sign up. And what will happen is you guys will receive an email from Flintt to verify your email address. I'd love you to follow along and then head over to your emails. You should receive an email that looks like this. And all you need to do is click the verify email address. If you haven't received it, please do check your junk or spam. Sometimes it has gone in there, although for most people it does not. And then once you've had an opportunity to do that, go back in and you will be able to see the Flintt dashboard page, which is right here. Verified. Great. Thank you, Rakesh. How are you going there, Jenny and Fiona?
I'm reading the terms and conditions because I'm paranoid about who owns my data.
Fair enough. Now, just for everybody's sake, we're not going to be asking you for any payment details today. So we're just going to show you how to use Flintt so that you have an idea and a bit more of a hands-on experience for the actual platform. And Jenny, if you don't feel comfortable joining today, that's fine. You can just watch how this happens. And then if you'd like, we can do a one-on-one session to have a further chat about how this could work for you and your social enterprise. All right, so the next thing I would like us to do, once you guys are here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to configure our branding. So if we click on configure branding, what this is going to do is going to bring you into this page here. So this is step 1. Now, just to make it easier, I'm going to actually share a logo with you, which is just a generic logo that we have created to make it easier. So I've just popped that in the chat. If you download that logo, you'll be able to use it because it works best if your logo is a PNG file and if it is a square file. So essentially, once you've downloaded that from your chat, go into choose file, find that file that I have just shared with you and pop that into here. Just let me know once you have done that, if you are following along. How are you going there, Rakesh? Good.
Yeah, I'm trying to upload my own logo. So it's that.
Oh, yes, of course. That's what I would be doing too, Rakesh, if I was you. All right. So just remember, if it's not a square logo, it is going to not repurpose as well on the templates. But for now, let's just use what we've got. All right. So now that if you've got a logo up here, what we're going to do next is we're going to update these colors to align with your brand colors. So the easiest way to do that is if you click on that, click on the little pipette and then hover over one of the colors on your logo. That's going to give you a primary background color. Then we're going to hover this over a different color on your logo. It's going to give you a secondary background color. We're going to choose a primary font color. We can leave it as white, or we can maybe use this gray. Now we want to make sure that this primary font color is different to your background color so that they can see one on top of the other. And we're just going to make this black because it's just easy to do that. So now we've got some colors set up. Rakesh, give me a thumbs up once you've got that done. Great. Then we're going to set up some information about your business. Now, the reason we set this information up here is because when Flintt creates your images for you, this is a Flintt generated image. What it'll do is it'll put your logo up here. It will put your Facebook handle, your LinkedIn page, your Instagram handle, and your website address on the image for you. And that's how it'll post the image, which means that all the images are aligned with your brand. And if somebody uses any of your pictures, it means that they're going to go along with your branding on there. So we're going to fill out this information here. I'm just going to make it really quite simple in this particular instance. And just put in our website address, our Facebook handles. And if you don't know where to find your Facebook handle, you just click this bit here and it shows you where your Facebook handle is located on your business page, which is just over here. Your Instagram handle, your LinkedIn page. And then here we do a bit of a signature. So this is going to go on the bottom of your email signatures as well as on the bottom of your social media copy. So therefore you can put in something like, for more great information about this, head to our website, and then you can put in your website address in here. And basically, once we've done that, I'd like you to scroll up here, choose a template, maybe go with our simple template, the easiest way to be able to show the repurposing. And then once you are done, scroll to the very bottom and choose your hashtag. So 5 to 10 hashtags that align with your business, and then click update branding. Now, Rakesh, I'm going to wait for you to get here because once we click this, it goes to a different screen and then people get lost.
Can I ask a question about hashtags? Because we use different hashtags on LinkedIn to what we use on Facebook and Instagram, because obviously LinkedIn likes 3 and anything more than that, it loses the plot, whereas Instagram, we use a plethora of them. So do the first 3 only go on LinkedIn, or is all of them go on
They will all go on all the posts. So the best thing to do here is you could put in your 3. And then when you're posting, you can add to those. At the moment, it's not separated content between the social media platforms, although that is part of the trajectory for our milestones, is to be able to have different content repurposed for different platforms.
Thank you.
Good question, Jenny. Yeah. How are you going, Rakesh?
I don't have an Instagram, so I'm just putting a random Instagram handle for now.
Okay. All right.
And
now, this is not actually going to post on your socials yet either. So, just put things in there so we can trial and test the platform.
yeah, I'm done with update branding.
Yep, you've clicked update branding. All
Yeah.
right. So I'm going to click update branding. Fabulous. Now, generally what the next things it will ask you to do is it will ask you to connect your social accounts, add your contacts in here, and then add your payment so that you can actually post. But in order to actually see how this works, there's this green button here which says skip steps and create your campaign. So what I'd like you to do, Rakesh, is click on skip steps and create your campaign.
Okay.
And it will bring you to this page here, which says start a new campaign. Once you're there, click on start a new campaign and then click on brand engagement campaign, which is essentially created specifically to help repurpose blogs. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to repurpose this blog here. We're going to go to how to write a good blog. I'd like you to click on that, which will open up the actual blog. And then we're going to do some copy and pasting from this blog. So you guys, I'll actually share my whole screen, which will make life easier. So I can click from one to another. All right. Have you got that blog up, Rakesh?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Fabulous. Now what we're going to do is I'd like you to copy the heading and head over to Flintt and pop the heading into the section that says blog, article, or title. So we're going to go back to the blog and we're going to copy our introduction here. we're going to pop that introduction into the introduction section. Get rid of a few of the extra lines. Then we're going to head over to the blog. We're going to go to the first subheading. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste the subheading in here. And then we're going to copy the content for the subheading. And we're going to pop that into our description section here. And essentially, we're going to follow these steps for the first 3 headings. So make your blog scanner friendly. Introductions that gather momentum. And then we're going to scroll down to the section around conclusion and pop in the conclusion. Let's just do a little bit of editing in here. And then again, go to your blog down here, head down to the conclusion section, and then copy and paste the conclusion. Now, just to give you a bit of insight, the reason that this content form was developed the way that it was developed is because this is, at a minimum, best practice for how to write blogs. Remember how I was saying at the start that when we are thinking about how to repurpose content, the actual repurposing starts when we create the original copy. And so if we create content which follows, 1, good blog practices, which means we need headings, subheadings, parts of paragraphs, white space around it, which will help us to create content that is SEO friendly. We also can then leverage this content because we can make each subheading a post. And that's essentially how Flintt can help you to start to repurpose that content. So once we've put in all this information in here, and if you would like to add more, you've got more than 3 dot points, you can add up to 10 dot points here. But for the purposes of today, we're just going to add the 3. Once we've done that, we scroll down. You can choose your social media that you have connected. If you've connected any, select the contacts that you have uploaded. Once you upload them, then you can choose your background source images. So they can either be from Unsplash, which means that they'll use keywords from your content to find images that align with the copy, or you can use your own media library once you have an opportunity to upload some of your own content in there. And then we basically click Start Campaign. So I'm going to click Start Campaign, and Rakesh, when you're ready, you can click Start Campaign as well. Why am I getting an error here?
Yeah, I'm getting that error too.
You're getting the same error. We fixed this last week. I'm sorry about that. That's really unhelpful. I'm going to show you what this does. I'm going to log into our Flintt. I'm going to log out of this. I'm going to log into Flintt. I'm going to go to our campaign. This is the full Flintt open campaign. So if we look at the how to write a good blog post, which is what we've created here, what Flintt then has done is it's created social media posts. So it's leveraged. That's not going to help me. Hang on. Let me find a campaign that isn't posted yet. All right. So essentially what happens is Flintt will then take this information and will automatically create an email. So the email will basically be an automated email. It will be scheduled for a specific date within the campaign period, which is within the next month at 10 a.m. It will leverage your heading as your subject line, and it will basically create an email with all the information that you've just popped into your content form along with your sign off, and it will be ready to be emailed to your database, which means that once you've written your content, it can easily be emailed straight to your database. So you don't need to use a different platform for the purposes of communicating your value add content with your customers. And then you can point them over to your website for them to be able to connect with you further. You can send a test email to yourself. You can update any of the communication. So if there's something that you'd like to change, some people might not like to say dear, some people might like to say hey. And then once you're happy with that, you would basically go update email communication. And once it's ready, you basically click release on schedule. And what that means is that that email with all of that information is now ready to go out to your contacts based on the date and time that you've pre-created. If you would like to add more content, you can use the Flintt platform to send email blasts on top of that. The other thing that Flintt will do is it will automatically create different posts. So it will create a post, it will leverage the information that you've popped into your blog. So in this case, this has created what's called an automated list post. So it's scheduled it to go on the 23rd of the 12th for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, provided that you've got those platforms. If you don't, it'll only schedule for the ones that you have. It's used your heading and your subheadings as a list style post. It's also put in the conclusion as well as your call to action. But what it's also done is it's created these images. Not only has it created this image, but it's also created a whole range of images using the content that you've popped into your content form, automatically using your brand, your logo, your social media handles, your colors, as well as trying to find images that are aligned with the keywords. So you can see if this says, are you the right fit? This is put in a picture that is about a jigsaw puzzle going into the right spot for it to be the right fit. So what that now means is you've not only got a post that is already pre-scheduled that you can update if you'd like, it's also provided you a whole range of images that you can work with and you can choose from. So let's just say in this particular instance, this is around, what are your customers looking for? You can use this image here if you prefer. You can use this image here. You can leverage any of the images that Flintt has created for you. Plus, it's created content-specific posts, so there's information about the words that have been used for your post. So you can leverage these pictures and use Flintt to post them for you. So once you're happy with that, essentially all you need to do is click update your social media post. And what you'll be able to see is that now this image here, along with the information that's in the post, has been scheduled to go out on this date to your social media channels. Once you're happy with it, you basically go click here to release on schedule. And that means that this is now ready to go. And this automatically creates 1, 2, 3 different posts for you. One that is specifically based on your title, and it repurposes your title and your introduction. One that is based specifically on a list. So that has your title and your subtitles as a list along with your conclusion. And it's repurposed all of your content posts. So each of the individual subheadings and copy has been repurposed into a content post. All of these are pre-scheduled and created to go out onto your socials. Once they're posted, what you'll see these little green marks. So that means that it's posted and it's still pending to go on Instagram specifically. And that is what a social media and email campaign on Flintt looks like. Now, do we have questions based on this? Yes, Jenny.
Are we able to stagger them? Because again, we post Instagram and Facebook content at a different time. We post LinkedIn based on when people are likely to be looking at it.
Yep. So essentially when you go into here, the LinkedIn, so here, the time of day, you can completely change.
Right. Cool. Thank you.
At the moment, it's posted on there based on when people are usually looking at content across those social media platforms. And it's pre-designed to work with best practices. But again, you guys know your audience better than, we know our audience. We go by what's general market standards. So we've enabled, and you can change the dates on this. You can change the times on this. You can change the copy that is in here. But as I said, this copy will go out onto all of your channels at the moment. So if you are looking for different social media hashtags, you can remove these from here. And then you need to add them manually into your Instagram and Facebook if you want to add more. And that way you've got the 3 that are most prominent working with LinkedIn will go on to all of your channels, and then you can add more. That's where we're currently at. But as I said, we are new and we are looking to add new milestones and growth to the platform.
Yeah, at the moment we tend to do very short posts on Insta for obvious reasons. No one actually looks at it. Tend to look at the picture or the reel, and that's about it. Whereas the actual content, we would put more content in Instagram and Facebook. So we tend to, in LinkedIn and Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. Great. That's really good. That's really good feedback there, Jenny. And I think we are definitely looking at how we can change or enable content to go onto, different content to go onto different channels based on what's its practices for those channels. Good question, Rakesh. So when it comes to repurposing content from video, what we are currently implementing, and this is for our first quarter of 2023, is we're adding an AI tool, one that's one is going to write the copy for you, and also one that's going to transcribe your video and then use the copy from your transcription to input into Flintt and then create these same sort of social posts based on your video to image. However, what does currently happen is we can start the process of content writing and content creation in Flintt. The moment that you click start campaign in Flintt, what will happen is you will receive an email with all the information that you've put into that content form. And then you can use that information as your basis for your video script. And then you can record your video. So you kind of flip the switch on whether you do the copy first or whether you do the video first. And that's a good question as well. Yeah. So then what happens once all of this is out there, then you've got your reporting. So essentially your reports will then be able to tell you who are your best performing socials and based on engagement, how many opens you've had, etc. And you can have a look at your contacts, and you can have a look at what are your tags, create your contacts, add your tags, import contacts, and you can have a look at who has unsubscribed. So you're able to keep track of where your database is at. And we are working on building up the automation and database options within Flintt so that it can provide even more insights and opportunities for growth into the future. And just to show you that this is legitimate, and it legitimately does actually post what we have created, we can have a look at the Flintt Instagram account so we can show you how the Flintt specific images. So as you can see, these are all Flintt specific images that have been posted using the Flintt platform. And as I said, we do supplement these, for those people that are currently not visible on their channels at all. Flintt can do a really great job of bringing you to the forefront and really putting it up as a set and forget. So you can sit down and you can create campaigns for the next, 6 months. And so then that at a minimum, you're going to have content going out regularly. And then, you know, when you have time, when you have inspiration, if you hire a team member, then you can jump on and supplement your content online with more of the authentic conversational style content that will help to bring your audience to the next step in their decision-making process with you. So we go from, you know, brand engagement and brand awareness to more of a conversation so that we can continue to build the relationship with our prospects, ensuring that we guide them to the next stage for decision making as far as working with us. So that is our demo and our tour. Again, I want to check in, does anybody have any questions on that or any feedback as well? Nope.
I think for me, sorry, I was waiting for everyone else to jump in. I think for me, we just need to think about how we actually do things at the moment, because at the moment, everything gets done in Trello. We put a whole lot of SEO friendly words in there. The content for Facebook and Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn is the same, but the posting times, LinkedIn goes out at a separate time and Facebook and Instagram go out together, but with different content. So we just need to have a think about what we're doing now and how this could potentially help or hinder or just change everything that we're doing. So we need to kind of get our heads around it.
Fair enough. And Jenny, look, what we're going to do, we are definitely going to be following up with an email for all of you guys. It's going to follow up with the recording and also an opportunity to book in a time to do, to catch up and, you know, one-on-one. And if you'd like us to do more of a strategy session on how Flintt can work for you and your company or your business or your organization, and work out a plan to really help you guys leverage the technology that's there and not break what you've got, but really add to it, then please do jump on, make a time, and we'll be able to have that strategic conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, if you guys are all good and there's no questions, you've got an idea of how Flintt is working, then thank you so much for joining me today. I'm wishing you a really happy holidays, however you are celebrating those, even if it's just downtime or if it's time with family and friends and celebrations. I wish you all the best, and we will definitely be catching up in the new year. And all the best, Rakesh and Jenny. Please do both connect, and I will see you both sometime in the near future.
Thanks for your time, Anna. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a lovely rest of your day.
You too.